Hey guys, working on this 2007 Dodge Ram 2500 Power Wagon. Having an issue with the transfer case switch, so I'll show you how to replace it. So I just want to show you really quick here what's going on. So let me go ahead and start it. And so the four-wheel drive light has just been staying on even though it's in too high. But you can see it's not on right now. But I just want to show you here. So if I go into 4 high, so shift that down, you can see that it doesn't even show a light there. But sometimes if I wiggle the handle, you can see there it kind of flickered. There it goes. So you can see it kind of just flickers there, the four-wheel drive light. So I'll go back up to 2 high here, and I'll go ahead and shift it into neutral, because we'll go into neutral on the transfer case. You can see, of course, that doesn't bring up anything. If I go into 4 low, you can see it doesn't light up either. But if I wiggle it, you can see the 4 low light kind of comes on. There it goes. Now it's kind of staying on there. But if I wiggle it, you can see it wants to shut off there. So I'll go back down into neutral there. And that's 2 high. Let's throw this back in park. Back down to 4 high. And I'll wiggle it. You can see, like I said, it just wants to flicker on there. So throw this back into 2 high here. Let's go ahead and change out the transfer case switch. I'll show you how to do that. So to access that switch, you'll want to crawl underneath the driver door here. So go ahead and crawl underneath the driver door here. Of course, you got your exhaust, and then look for your front drive shaft going into your transmission. So I'm looking towards the back of the truck here. But if you notice right up here, so that is the transfer case switch right up there. You can see the 2 wires going into it. So that's what we need to replace. So bear with me, guys. I'm trying to get you the best angle here. But I'm going to reach on the side of the drive shaft here, just above the drive shaft. And then I'm going to undo the wiring tab here. So you can just use your thumb. You should have a tab right here. You're going to press in on. And then you should be able to unplug that. Hopefully. And of course it doesn't want to unplug. There we go. So if you notice right here, you can just put your thumb right here on the top and then press in, and then you can pull that off of there. So now the hard part, I had to move my camera a little bit, make sure I got enough room in here, but I'm gonna take a 12-inch crescent wrench, and let's see if we can get up onto this, because we need to be able to loosen this. So it looks like if I can go about right there, hopefully I can break it free here. So get on that, see if I got enough leverage here to break this free. I just tightened it a little bit because now I want to see if I can pop it loose. There we go. So it doesn't take much to pop it loose. Once you get it kind of loose in there, you can go ahead and twist this out of here. Let me get this cord out of the way. Go ahead and pop this out of there. And there's your transfer case switch. So let's take a look at our old switch and then our new one. So like I said, this is the old switch here. And the new one I went with is the Dorman 600-555. I got this off Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for you. But you can see it pretty much matches up here. Same with the plug as well. You can see that all matches up. And then you want to make sure that this O-ring is on the new one here. So make sure that O-ring goes on there. And then if you want to, you can just take your finger here. This just has a little bit of transfer case fluid or ATF on it. And I'm just going to kind of roll a little bit onto this new O-ring here. Just kind of coat that in some of this old fluid here. Just wrap that around there. So let's go ahead and screw this in. So go ahead and grab your new switch here And as you guys are doing this, just be careful. You don't want to drop any dirt or debris down into that hole where this goes. So just kind of find your hole here. Drop your switch down in there. And you may have to press down just a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and start threading that in. So get that as tight as you can by hand. Grab your 12-inch crescent here. Go ahead and get on there, and then we'll just kind of snug this up a little bit here. Like I said, it wasn't too tight before. So just get it nice and snug. So I'm gonna call that good about right there, because it does have that O-ring on there as well to help with the fluid. And then you can grab your plug in here. We'll go ahead and plug that back in. And this might have turned on you, depending on how tight you go with it. Just get that on there and you'll hear it kind of click. And then just kind of pull on it, make sure that ain't gonna come loose. And there we go. And I just want to give you guys a look at how I was putting my crescent wrench up here. So I was going right here, so you can see right above the drive shaft, and then I was able to get onto it from right in here. Maybe. But you can see I was able to latch onto it right there like that, and then I was able to loosen it going that way and then tighten it coming towards me. Okay, so now let me go ahead and start it. Let's go ahead and see if that fixed our issue. As you can see, no 4-wheel drive light on. We'll go ahead and shift this into 4 high. You can see right there, the 4-wheel drive light is on. And if I just kind of wiggle this shifter, you can see it's not flickering anymore like it was. We'll go back to 2 high. You can see the light shuts off. And like I said before, sometimes the 4-wheel drive light would just be on even though it was in 2 high and we weren't in 4-wheel drive. So that seemed to fix that as well. So now I'll go ahead and throw this into neutral. Let's put the transfer case into neutral. See right there. Now we'll go to 4 low. And you can see our 4 low light is now on. And if I wiggle the shifter, you can see that light doesn't flicker anymore in 4 low either. So it seems like that took care of our issue here. So I'll go back down to neutral. Back down to 2 high. I'll go ahead and throw this in park. And I'll go ahead and go back down into 4 high. You can see the 4-wheel drive light came on. So it seems like that fixed our issue. Go back to 2 high. So lastly, just crawl to underneath here again, just take a peek, take a look at that switch, make sure you're not leaking any fluid or anything out of that. And that looks good. All right, so that's gonna wrap up the video. Again, this was a 2007 Dodge Ram 2500 Power Wagon. Went ahead and replaced the transfer case switch. Really simple to do on these trucks. Takes you maybe 15-20 minutes at the most to get it done. So hopefully this video helps you out. If it does, hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.